We've known each other 100 years, because
we
obviously
really
we go way, way, way back to breakfast TV days when you were doing the sort of kids side of things.
Yeah, our GM days.
And then, and I was a weather girl. Then you sort of took yourself out of the limelight for a little bit and retrained. Now, what many people might not necessarily know when they see you on Celebs Go Dating is this was because of a mental health issue that you'd had, and you decided to go and look into it further. Did you expect when you got pregnant for the first time that very issue that took you away from your job would rear its head as it did?
Well, I mean, this is how Dell and I know, don't we? We are fierce mental health campaigners. And we, I think, are proof that, you know, mental health can happen to anyone, mental health issues, and no one asks for it.
And we both had severe postnatal depression.
Severe postnatal depression and postnatal anxiety. And for me, the lesser talked about prenatal anxiety. There is a very huge statistic, can't even say it, of someone that has a mental health condition that rearing its head through pregnancy. I believe the statistic is around 1 in 2. So there was a very high chance I would. But I wanted a child, I wanted a baby for years, 20
Because
years.
you'd suffered with anxiety and depression before you got pregnant, right?
So as you were saying, absolutely, Andrew, I was diagnosed with GAD, generalised anxiety disorder and panic disorder in my mid-20s when I was working at breakfast.
And how did that manifest, Anna?
Panic attacks and just absolute debilitating fear. You know how depression feels as well. And mental health issues as well come in a whole horrible cocktail, don't they? They're very symptomatic of each other. But just sort of day-to-day feelings of dread, waking up and wishing the day to be over. And then when I fell pregnant with my much-wanted son, he was planned, he was a honeymoon baby. Oh, this isn't quite what I was supposed to be feeling. Isn't everyone supposed to tell you it's the most happy, exciting part?
And you see the front of those parent and baby magazines beaming out at you and expect
you want to just throw them out the window, don't you? And it's
Were you on medication when you were pregnant? Were you on any anti-anxiety? Did you have to come off anything, basically?
Well, this is the thing. So I was on anti-anxiety medication and SSRI, and then I was wrongly advised by the doctor at the time to come off the medication straight away. And I would really urge anybody that is on any form of mental health medication to speak to a properly trained professional that specialises in that area.
So many doctors aren't trained in that area enough, are they?
It's optional for a lot of GPs, and this is not a bashing on GPs at all, but at the time, it's never good when your GP's rifling through a medical directory and going, oh, it says here you should come off your meds. I mean, you wouldn't tell a pregnant lady to come off a diabetes medication or my
GP that said, well, I had 5 children, dear, and I just didn't have time to get depressed.
This is it. Or or the best one I was told was, oh, just get on with it.
So how did it manifest itself during pregnancy? Was it different to how it showed itself before?
Yes, it was more intense because I was, and I am now, I was growing a little baby, and the overwhelm that I was feeling of not getting it wrong. You know, everyone will know, oh, you must be so happy, you must be so excited. I don't really know what I am feeling, but I'm going to say yes to all those questions because that's what society tells you you must say. Now, I was happy somewhere, but the overwhelming feeling every day was just fear, catastrophizing everything. Will I get it wrong? Will this baby come out safely? Every pregnant woman will know you count those weeks down, don't you? Every time you get to a milestone, have I done something wrong? Oh, my goodness, I've come off medication, so now what am I going to do? I haven't got any psychological support. But it's OK, I'm a woman, I'm a super mother. I don't want my baby taken away from me. You know, I must pretend I'm fine. You know?
That's very hard to go into labour with that kind of thinking as well, isn't it? Because you get yourself into such a state. So how was the labour then?
Let me tell you now, Nads, I was having genuine panic attacks, actual panic attacks during the labour. Because, again...
During the labour as well?
I know, I was going to say, out of anyone to have a horrible labour, it had to be me, as my mother said. But I was, because, again, for anyone that's experienced a back-to-back labour, in all my birth classes, no one had told me about this type of labour. So I was waiting for the period pain contraction, which never came in all 40 hours of labour. I was labouring in my back, in the spine, and the unexpected nature of that just made me freak out. So I was having panic attacks during labour. But you know what? The epidural, oh yeah. That was the best part.
Now, obviously, you did give birth to your beautiful boy.
Yes, and he's my favourite
people
boy.
then naturally, because do you know what I think it is? It's because it's easier and quicker. People then just assume you give birth, you fall in love with this baby, and everything is all wonderful. But it didn't necessarily happen that way for you.
No. Oh, when I look at him now, and you know, anyone that is bless you, anyone that is suffering with postnatal depression or postnatal mental health,
You will get well.
Yeah, you will get well. I promise you, you will. It might feel dark and might feel horrible. But this is the thing. I'd really, as we all do in 9 months, I'd fantasised about the moment that my darling little Enzo was coming into the world. We hadn't found out the sex deliberately. I wanted the surprise.
I'm going to get an instant rush of love.
And I had honestly, in my head, very topical at the moment with Lion King, but I had honestly imagined this sort of circle of life, Simba presentation of my son.
Any first-time mums watching, it doesn't happen. That doesn't
Scribble that one out.
Yeah. We really want to hear about it.
Did you have any dark thoughts? Because I know what I did, which I couldn't stop from coming in.
Yes, horrible. And those were the scariest of all, to be honest, then, because, again, everyone, you must be so happy. I didn't know what I felt. And I describe it like the plug socket had been pulled out, this Hollywood rush of love. Here we go, ta-da! And it wasn't there. It wasn't there initially. And actually, that never really came, but it seeped in around 6 weeks. And the reason for that was my boy smiled at me on the changing mat.
Yeah.
And I remember feeling this black, empty hole that I'd been just coping with just soften. I remember thinking, oh my God, you like me.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm not so rubbish at this after all.
But you feel the blackness actually filling with light.
Yes.
And you feel lighter.
Yes.
And
You
then
will
you
get
know
better.
it's
You must
starting
talk to people
You
about it
must.
as well.
And
You
it
must share how you feel.
And we've hardly got any time left.
Oh, no,
we
we
talk
could
about
ask.
this for ages. One of the things I really wanted to ask you is there'll be many mums who will have experienced this with their first pregnancy, will be far too frightened to be pregnant again.
Yes.
But you're 19 weeks pregnant. And
I am.
congratulations.
Actually, do you know what? Just kicked now, actually.
Oh,
Yay, we're talking about...
So, I mean, I love the round of applause for the little kick. Thank
And
you.
how are you?
I'm carrying the same, actually. I just feel a lot more happy, a lot more healthy. I've talked about it openly. I've spoken to the medical professionals who
And
have
has
been
that
brilliant.
helped, being more open?
All
Not
hail
just
the
saying,
NHS.
yes, I'm fine
I
for
went
everything.
straight in and said, right, gang, midwives, NHS mental health professionionals, help me.
And all hail the partners as well,
And
who have to adjust to,
exactly.
to losing their wife for a time, don't they? But that person will come back.
And they need the help
They do
too.
need support.
But if you ask for it, trust me, it does come. Just don't feel you have to be this brave person that has to cope, because you know what, the help is there. And I'm really enjoying this pregnancy.
Oh, good.
And for anyone worrying about doing it a second time, just be in control and make those decisions and those choices for you to do it differently.
Oh, wonderful. I know.